Okay, this is our third video practice test for Chapter 5. This is page 3 of the calculator portion, number 16. All right, number 16, the key is here we are given this ordered pair, and here's the key. This point is on a unit circle. So that becomes very, very easy. The unit circle, the x-coordinate is the cosine, and the y-coordinate is the sine. If you don't like to think of it that way, I could plot this point right here. This negative square root 11 over 6 becomes my side adjacent. 5, 6 becomes my side opposite. I can do some calculations here and find my hypotenuse. When I do all this, the hypotenuse will equal 1. But I already knew that because they said it was on a unit circle. So if I wanted the cosine of this angle, I could take this side adjacent, hypotenuse divided by, upside down, side adjacent divided by hypotenuse, and I would get this same answer. Save yourself some stress. Use the fact that it's on a unit circle, and we know that the y-coordinate then will be the cosine of the angle. Okay, number 17, asking for the amplitude. All right, this is always the absolute value of the lead coefficient. Lead coefficient is -2. Absolute value of -2 is 2. All right, now number 18, it asks for the phase shift. Let's be a little bit careful here. We know our phase shift is C divided by B. B is the coefficient in front of the X, which in this case is 1. C is plus or minus this number. Notice that I didn't carry the negative sign with it. I'm going to deal with that later because I know associated with an X, a negative sign shifts right, positive sign shifts left. In my calculation, I don't carry the negative sign. Phase shift is C over B. Do the division. This is the amount of my phase shift, and it'll be to the right. Solving a triangle, it wants the tangent, and it wants some angles and some other stuff here. So let's process the information they give us. They give us two sides of a right triangle. With Pythagorean, I can get this fourth side. I don't even know if it turns out that we need that because, oh no, we do need that because they want to know what C is. All right, so they want to know what these angles are. I could have used, since I know this, I could have used the sine function. But I chose to use my givens. Let's say I made a calculation error here. I would still get it right if I used the tangent. So I know the opposite over adjacent is this ratio right here. I need to go in my calculator. I need the arc sine of that, and I could get 57.8. 57.8 and 90. And angle B have to add up to 180. That's one way to do it. Or I could use my given information and I could find this angle. There's many, many, many different ways to solve this triangle. Anyways, angle A, angle B, and C, we found those. The correct answer is D. All right, problem number 20, I did not do it because it's exact same as problem number 13. All right, now 21, I'm going to make this a bonus problem. These really aren't hard. You just kind of have to understand the nomenclature a bit. Some of y'all in Boy Scouts or whatever have done any land nav or compass work. You know, we have north, west, south, east. That is just our up, down, left, right of our coordinate system. And basically, they give us the position of the ship as a coordinate value. I go 43 miles this way, I go 25 miles this way, and there's why I plot the position of my ship. All right, so if you look here, I'm using what that's called a parallelogram method. You know, I'm making a box right here. And the diagonal of the box is the distance to the harbor. And I could find that out with Pythagorean. But they don't want that. They want this angle theta. Well, you know, I've got a right triangle here, and I could solve for this angle theta. That will work, but that angle theta is the same as this angle theta. This right triangle is the same as that right triangle. And that works out a little bit more convenient for me because here I am on the ship, and I have my compass on my ship. There's north, south, west, east, and I want an angle then to go back to the harbor. So it's a little bit more convenient to see the problem working with this triangle instead of this triangle, but they're the exact same. Anyways, I can use the arctan, and I can solve for theta. Now, I find theta is 30.2 degrees. Now, I call that north of, oops, it's north of east, not north of west. And how do I figure that out? The second word, east, is the direction I'm facing. For instance, I'm on my ship. You know, on my ship, I have my compass, and I'm facing east. Now, if I'm facing east, if I rotate to my left, I'm rotating towards the north. If I'm rotating to my right, I'm rotating towards the south. So if I'm facing east, I have to turn 30.2 degrees towards the north. That's why we say 30.2 degrees north of east. Okay? All right, now if you found this angle right here, which is the complement, then I would say that is the complementary angle, what about? Well, it's about 60 degrees, 59.8 degrees. So I would say that would be east of north. That's an equally correct answer. All right, anyways, that's a bonus problem. It's really kind of easy. All right, number 22. This is kind of a match the graph to the picture, except they don't give us a picture. Right? They give us this spring that oscillates up and down. That gives us, if I plot that position versus time, it gives us a sine function. All right, so there's two. We have to look at these functions. I know that my sine function starts at 0. This isn't starting at 0. This is starting at actually negative amplitude. Negative is pulled down -5 centimeters and then released. All right, so I need to use the cosine function because it doesn't start at 0. Well, normally my cosine function, it does this right here. All right, so this means that I have an x-axis reflection. So I need to put this negative sign in front of my cosine function to give it that reflection. All right, so that's a big hint. You know, I've got a negative cosine. Now, what about my period and phase shift? Well, there's no phase shift in my answer, but my period is defined as 2 pi divided by b is equal to period. Now, give me the period as 4, so I can back calculate b. And b, we know, is the coefficient in front of our variable. So this would be choice D. And that finishes up page 3.